Hello everybody, welcome to another SOE Community Webcast. Joining me today are two guys from PoxNora. Now, if you've not heard of PoxNora, there's something wrong with you. It's actually a really cool turn-based miniatures game, and it's free to play. I really urge you to try it because if I like it, anybody will like it. I'm the world's fussiest person. So, who do we have here? We have Luke Bultman, who is the producer on PoxNora, also known as HawkFain to his admiring fans on the forums. And this is Blaine Smith, and he is the lead designer for PoxNora, also known as Corpse, for those guys that hate him on the forums. So, nice. Welcome. Thank you very much for joining us. Now, before we go any further, we do have to give the standard ESRB disclaimer. In this case, it's a little on the odd side, because the fact is that ESRB has not rated this game. There, I've done my official legal duty. And we were kind of speculating on why it's not yet rated, but it has something to do with the game, the way the game is distributed. So if people want to try playing Pox, where do they go?
They can head straight to PoxNora.com, register for an account if you don't have a station account, and start playing. It's Java-based.
That's really simple.
So you can start it straight from your web browser, as long as you have Java on the machine, which most machines have.
Cool. Is it very hard on system requirements?
Yeah, it's very easy. The game's about 5 years old, so it will run on just about anything nowadays.
Very cool. So, obviously, the thing that we're here to talk about today is the upcoming expansion for PoxNora. The players are very excited, I'm very excited, and we want to hear all about it. So let's start with the really, really important question. So what's the name of the new upcoming expansion?
Right now, we're calling it Expansion 18. It's pretty original. We're still in legal approval.
That's creative.
So,
it took your entire team to get together and think of Expansion
18.
Hours
of time.
Okay.
Bashing.
So, will we be announcing the real name soon? Please tell me it's not really Expansion 18.
No, eventually we will be. It's in legal approval right now.
Okay. Okay. Is it awesome?
It's wild.
Okay. When we're talking about weird names, some of the people who have seen the webcast announcement saw us reference a term called Poxanthuru. And Corpse here told me that the full term is Poxanthuru milius. What is Poxanthuru milius, and where did that come from? Sounds like something off the ingredients package on Japanese ramen or something.
Poxanthuru milius was a name that the elves that live on Pox, they came up with that name. Everybody got sick of saying it, so they shortened the name to Pox, which is kind of where the name PoxNora came from.
Well, that's a whole lot easier than saying Poxanthuru milius Nora.
Yeah. Yes.
Nice pronunciation name. Thank you. I practiced just before the show. I'm going to have a T-shirt made now that says that. So that people
I don't think it was fit.
Two lines. Okay, so now at least we know where that term comes from. So clearly you can see there's a little piece of art displayed there, and we know that you want to see some more. So guys, take it away. We'd like to see some of the art from the new expansion.
Cool. All right, so we've got the focus for this next upcoming expansion is going to be have a lot to do with themes, and one of the ones we're going to start with here is the spirit of endurance. Ironically, this one doesn't fit directly into all those themes. The actual theme, this is a KF rune, and it's an angel. It's a spirit. It's going to be a support rune that basically just helps all the runes that you've got. You can think of it similar to like a spirit of enlightenment, etc. But a lot of the themes, those are going to be the tree runes that we've got. So we're going to preview some of that stuff on the forums. There's a lot of really cool trees coming, so we'll get to that. I'm going to go to the next one. All right, so we've got the focus for this guy is a dwarf, but he's actually a dwarven engineer. He's really cool. He makes grobble pile drivers. He also has a new ability called Make 'em Tough, which is he adds tough 3 to any target construct. He's pretty nice. He's a really great support rune. We're going to go ahead and trump up the construct theme quite a bit in this coming up expansion. We've got a super uber rune coming out that some of you guys have maybe heard rumors about, but he's he's really amazing. Not gonna leak that one here.
Oh, come on. But they've heard the rumors.
Okay, fine. I can leak. It's Rugal's. His name is the name of the rune is Rugal's Revenge. As some of you with the lore and the story know, Rugalth passed away recently, so the Dwarven engineers kind of got together and constructed this new Uber construct. He's
The artwork is fantastic.
He's pretty epic. Yeah,
Nice.
we're really happy with the way he turned out. So he's gonna turn some heads. People are gonna be scared when they see him.
So are we going to see that artwork before the expansion releases, or are you holding that back for people to
You're gonna have
discover
to
on their
tune
own?
in and just find out.
There's been some hints. I changed my avatar to look like that guy actually on the forums at one point in time.
There you go.
So
Which
just
is-
just
at one
just
point
the
in
head.
time.
Yeah,
Not
yeah,
anymore.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I
Well,
tend to.
if you're a regular Pox player, you'll notice that Corpse does that on a regular basis. So
I preview runes on my forum avatar a lot of times that are
Yeah.
months out.
See.
So if people pay attention, they see that stuff. I like to do that. It's fun. I get so excited when I get art that a lot of times I want to share it and I can't. So I just have little hints and stuff like that.
well, it's one of the coolest things about our game, I think, and a big piece of why people come to play it is the artwork.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely fantastic. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
So what's next?
well, yeah. Can we have the next one? Okay. So this is one of the witches. This is for Forsaken Waste. Basically, the way the witches are going to work is they have an ability called Elsari Coven, and when you get 3 of them out on the board, I forget the ability. They get Wicked Aura. That's what they get. You gain Wicked Aura right now, and Wicked Aura basically slows all the opponent's champions down. They lose AP. So that combined with the fact that they all have different damage types and different abilities, they're a very fun theme that we're going to try and trump up with this expansion. We've also got some vampires coming, but I don't want to get into that stuff too much. I know the vampires were very popular for the last expansion, so we are that was not unheard. We are going to do that. We're gonna trump some vampires too, and there's also a new dragon coming for Forsaken Waste, which is very, very fun. Yeah. So let's go on to the next one. All right, this is the Hynid. This is the Hynid Voodoo Queen. Name's probably subject to change. The Hynid, there are 4 new Hynid for this next expansion. I'm super excited
really
about
cool.
these guys. Yeah, they all have
It's an older race.
Yeah, this is one of the older races that's never actually been fleshed out very much in Pox, but they've been very popular with the Shattered Peaks players. So we're going to do with the Hynid. They're all going to have Cackle. And which is a debuff ability that they all laugh and basically hurt everyone's ears.
It's great
It's
sound
terrific.
effect.
Yeah.
Yes, it is a very
They
good
cackle.
sound effect. I love it.
And then they'll all have a new ability. All Hynids will have a new ability called Dogpile, which is a debuff that's applied to the champions, and you gain every other champion that has the Dogpile ability is going to get bonus damage. So that's a really going to be a fun ability because I think we'll have close to 8 new. There'll be 8 Hynids total, and 4 new ones coming. So I'm really excited about these guys. They're tied together really well. They're going to be super synergistic
Build a really
and fun.
cool deck around that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was kind of the
looking forward to
focus for this expansion was to be able to have, here's 4 new runes, throw them together. If you've never tried this faction before, try these guys out and see if you like them. If you like them, add more. Get more of those guys and lump them together. There's not too many of these types of runes out yet, so you can get in on the ground floor and kind of play with them.
Off the top of your head, do you have any idea, even a ballpark, how many runes you currently have in the game?
Thousands.
Thousands?
It's well over.
We're at the 2,000
Yeah.
champion mark, and I know we have over 900 spells and over 2,000 abilities. So it's an encyclopedia of goodies.
It is.
That's
and
really
the
fun.
fact that the game's been out for so long means that somebody like I'm a huge fan of sort of theme decks. I'll
Cool.
pick something and build. Like my favorite deck is bear trees. So obviously, Cathir Forest, right?
Yeah,
Lots of trees,
for
lots
sure.
of bears.
Yeah.
And it's really cool the fact that there are so many runes now that you can pick almost any idea and just run with it. So a lot of
Definitely,
fun.
you can definitely do that
Yeah,
now.
you can still get every single one of them too, available for purchase or through the gold store.
That's right.
so.
We haven't retired anything yet, so there's plethora of stuff.
But I'm sure people will ask, are you going to retire runes? Still under
I'm not gonna
discussion,
answer that
apparently.
one.
Oh, yeah. We'll see what's the next big topic of discussion on the forums.
I like to look at it as there's so much content. You can basically get involved in this game and you'll stay with it the rest of your life.
You lose yourself in it.
Yeah, the way I always like to describe it to players who have never played before is it's like playing chess with several thousand pieces that you can choose from. And that's
Absolutely.
part of the glory of it.
Yeah.
Well, and the cool thing too is that every 3 or 4 months or so, actually every couple of months, we have some type of release. So you're constantly getting new stuff.
Yep.
So before we go to the next one, will this be a full expansion? Expansion 18? Or is it going to be mini? Or?
Yeah, it's considered a full expansion, yes.
Okay. Can you announce how many runes are in it, or are you still deciding?
I think that's still up for decision, but it's probably going to be around 52.
Okay. So
It'll be similar size as the last expansion that we had.
Good.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, looking forward to
We
that.
try to get at least 4 champions, at least a relic or an equipment, and at least 2 new spells with every expansion that we've been doing.
Cool.
So that's, yeah.
So what else do you have to show us?
Can we go to the next one? Oh, the imps.
This
Okay.
is a cool one. This
These
is
guys
by
are
Andrew
That's awesome.
Hu. This is a good
Oh,
artist.
yeah,
I can hardly
our
wait to
artist
see
is
this one animated. Does it fly?
Oh yeah, yeah. All the imps, fly. The imps are really cool. I was really happy to go back to do these guys. I was this close to doing goblins, but I thought imps were already established in the world. It'd be hard to, goblins maybe in the future. We'll see. But the imps, their new ability, they'll all gain a new ability. It's called Mischief, and this ability is still, I'm still tweaking this one. But right now, what it does is you can steal 1 AP from 1 action point from any champion, including yourself. And that'll
So awesome.
it'll give it it'll give the AP to any other champion that has Mischief. So you can combo it basically. You can Mischief, 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 Mischief. Now all of a sudden everybody has an extra 4 AP. That has the ability. So I've been playing with it and it seems really, really wicked fun. It also adds a new archetype to Underdepth's full faction because it's a theme. It's a control style theme that hasn't really been. Underdepths is pretty much all about punching somebody in the face until they just drop dead.
Pretty much.
So now we're gonna try and go a different route and maybe start introducing some control style elements to the Underdepths.
Yeah, so that we'll have somewhat of a more complex mechanic to mess around with there.
Yeah.
That's very
Yeah. So we're gonna go to the next one.
This is Jakob.
Nice.
Jakob Kasper. He's also a fantastic artist for us.
Yeah. So this is the new Sunderland's race. This is a brand new race that we're introducing into Pox. I'm pretty proud of this one. Worked pretty heavily with our artist Tony Lopes on developing these guys. The Sunderlands, they're notorious. The players in general are notorious. They love bugs, they love insects, and they love sand themes. Those are 2 themes that have never been actually worked. People have tried to get them to work. That's kind of where the mix come. That's where the idea for the mix ended up. I was like, let's tie this stuff together. Let's give the Sunderlands players what they really want. They got some big, really cool bugs. The bugs lay eggs. They have an ability called Domain Sand, which improves whenever they're in sand. They get more powerful in sand. Their core ability, and this is really cool. At least I think this is really cool. Is called Brood Bond, and it's the eggs that the character that lays the eggs actually isn't in here. There's a mixed queen, but the eggs that she lays, for every other mixed character that's out, such as this one. They have a Brood Bond ability, and that lowers the cooldown that the eggs hatch. So when you get a ton of these guys out, with the Brood Bond ability, you have the mixed eggs hatch, and you get this kind of spiraling out of control. Oh my gosh, what am I going to do? Holy crap, there's too many bugs all over the place kind of a thing. So that's a really exciting ability I'm pretty excited with. These guys are really cool. They also have acid damage. And they also have a scouring ability that lowers defense too. So they're big, they're hardy, they're kind of slow, but they kind of wad up into a big fist, and then they can really deal some damage.
This one's a big 2x2 unit.
This is the mixed Broodlord. Yeah, he's the bug daddy. You can see there's a bunch of dwarves trying to pretty much try to take this guy out. He actually has colossal, so he's way scary. Colossal means anything that's not a 2x2 or a really large unit will take less damage. So he's very, very hard to take down. He's also costly, but we'll see how he plays out. I'm pretty excited about this guy.
I'm pretty excited. I mean, I think I'll probably finally make my first Sunderlands decks.
Cool.
That's pretty
Cool.
neat.
Glad to hear it.
So, what else?
What else do we have?
Eventually we're going to run out of pictures and I'm going to be really disappointed.
This is him.
So.
You guys got to
But
see
a
a
few
sneak
more.
peek here.
This is
Oh!
this is Rugolph's Revenge, the new construct that's coming out. This guy is.
How'd that get in there?
Blaine!
The art, I'll just let the art speak for itself. It's probably the coolest piece of art. James Ryman did this along with Tony Lopes. They both worked on this one
The
together.
little sprite's awesome. I just saw it yesterday.
Yeah. So he's epic. He's got resistance physical out the wazoo, ton of hit points. I mean, if you think about the Dwarven engineer, adding tough 3 to him is going to be, you know, really, really nasty.
Insane.
So,
Yes.
yeah, I'm probably going to get some problems with that, you know, from the forums, but we'll see how that goes.
That's never
Be sure
happened.
to let Blaine know, known as Corpse on the forums, give him all your feedback as soon as you get crushed horribly by this guy.
But yeah, I'm pretty proud of him. He's coming along. He was one of the first runes I designed. He kind of set the tone for the rest of the where the power level was for these runes. Yeah, I'm happy with him for right now. Gonna go to the next one. Okay, all right. These guys are really cool. This is the Forglar Swamp, the new race. Actually, not a new race. This is the Snaptooths. Now the Snaptooth is one in the first expansion. I think it's like a chick riding a crocodile or something like that. So I was trying to think of
a lady riding a crocodile.
A what?
A lady.
A lady riding a crocodile. Oh yeah.
Yes,
sorry.
yes.
Yes, a lady.
He's still in training. Yeah. He'll grow up.
Apologies. Sorry. Yeah. So yeah. So this is a Snaptooth. I forget the name of this guy. Crawmangler. That's the name of this guy. When I was going for Forglar Swamp, they've been traditionally very squishy race, very mobile. Yeah. With the bog hoppers and whatnot, and insects and stuff. And I was like, well, what's in the swamp that's really cool? And I'm like, gators. Why haven't we done this before? So there are 4 new Snaptooth that are going to be coming out. They have some really interesting abilities. They kind of linger between worlds. They have phase shift, which means they'll go ethereal. They can turn into sort of ghosts at will. They also have a crypt that grants them essence capture, which means when they attack, they'll gain Nora. They also have, I'm trying to remember off the top of my head, all amphibious. They tend to be, multi-attack. That's the other thing. Snaptooths have multi-attack, so they attack very fast. So they don't do a ton of damage with one hit. They do more damage with numerous hits. And they also have some debuffs that they grant a lot of, which is very, very cool. You know, constantly debuffing the enemies and stuff like that. It becomes kind of a bit of a management process for hopefully the opponent, trying to keep all the bad stuff off of him with cleanses and whatnot. Yeah. So, but they ended up, this guy's, the artist was Alexander Alexandrov. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he's one of our new finds. Right. We love this guy. Yeah, we're really happy with him. So you want to go to the next one? All right, this is the Strigg Battle Ward. He's for Savage Tundra. There's 4 new Strigg coming out. Basically, these guys have joined the Savage Tundra, and they really don't want to. They're condescending. They're very haughty. They don't really care for. They don't really care for the Jakai at all. They don't care for the Lonks. They don't care for any of the races that are in the Savage Tundra at all. But they're kind of they're pressed into it because the war is actually on their doorstep. So they're not very happy about this. But they had to pick somebody to join. So
why not Savage?
Why not Savage Tundra, right?
The many evils out
exactly.
There, right?
There you go. Yeah. So they all have an ability called Boon of the Wind, and this is a kind of it's a build-up ability. It's not so much powerful right up front as it is, you know, later on in the game. And what Boon of the Wind does is it grants any flying champion. Any champion that's flying. I've been kind of pushing the flying theme in Savage Tundra lately. Right. They'll gain a bonus to their damage as well as a rank of evasive, which means their ranged attack, they lose. They don't lose. They take less damage from ranged attacks. So what you can do is you can have a guy like this up front in the battle, and then play another Strigg that has Boon of the Wind, and then he'll grant him that ability up front. So it's sort of a back deploy that helps the guy up in the front lines. That was the idea for them. Yeah, so that was really fun. They're also very big. There's a couple of 2x2s, and there's some magic users and stuff like that. They're very imposing and cool looking in the game. The art for them is the sprites is really cool. So really happy with the way they're turning out. Those are exciting guys. So go to the next one. Okay, and that's it. Awesome. There's quite a bit going on there.
I think you just showed the most of the expansion. Okay, that was awesome. That's the first chance I've had to see those as well. So. Yeah, I'm excited.
There's a lot of stuff.
Is there a storyline, a background storyline for this expansion?
We haven't been doing story for quite a while as far as our lore goes. I mean, there's a general theme to it, but There's not a huge story that we're going to be releasing.
In many respects, I get the general impression that you're just trying to round out the factions and make them a little more balanced and that type of thing. A lot of new abilities coming into factions that have perhaps lacked in one area or another.
Not necessarily. It's taken the game. I mean, the game we talked about how many runes the game has, right? So it's more along the lines of introducing new mechanics to the players that fit together into sort of a cohesive theme, instead of just a mishmash of stuff that you see right now. You know, where you'll have a bunch of different races and a bunch of different stuff that's in there, which is fine. We're you know, that's totally cool, but you know, I'd like to hand people something that's a little easier to digest. In terms of that's where these guys sort of come from. So you can just say, oh, hey, new race, new stuff. Let's grab these guys, put them in the deck, and see how it plays, and really kind of push that. So that's kind of the direction that I've been taking the game in terms of new runes.
Now I'm looking at the clock, and of course we're just starting to run slightly over, so I'm going to ask you guys want us to keep going? We have some very good player questions here that we still have to ask. Are you guys okay with continuing on?
I'm fine. Let's go for
You
it.
had nothing else to do today except build an expansion, right? All right, that's terrific. So one of the most important questions is, when does the expansion launch? Like, when should I save my station cash up for?
So we're looking at a November 2nd launch date right now. I'm going to go ahead and commit to that. So
You sound
we're gonna
really
nail
sure
it.
of yourself.
Absolutely. We have the guys coding like crazy back at the
Well,
office.
it's on the internet now, so it's got to be true.
It's law.
Okay, that is really terrific. Let's see. The one thing I want to ask before we move into the player questions are there any plans to further expand the player rewards store? That's been quite a popular feature.
Yeah. Yes. The short answer is yes. As per usual, we've been adding stuff. I think from the oldest expansion that doesn't have gold runes, we usually release that to the players. We plan on doing that this time, as well as adding a new. I'm sure there's a question in there for that. There's a gold rune that's going to be in there for the factions. You know, Magnus was actually, that was surprising. Magnus was an extremely popular rune. So was Serinda. That was just something that we threw together at literally, like, you know, the 11th hour as we were going out the door. Players were never going to see those runes. Why not make them cool and see what they can, if they want to buy them? You know, lo and behold, they become the most popular runes in the game.
Wow.
Sixel's become super popular. Sixel the World Ender, he came out last expansion. Very popular rune. So yeah, there's going to be another one. There's going to be another one of those, and we're going to keep adding to the gold store. Players love it. We like doing that stuff. We like seeing people play with that stuff. So
Terrific. Okay, so player questions. BK201 asks, what is your rune creation process like? Apparently they create them as they're on their way out the door, and that's how the most amazing runes
There's
get
a
done.
dartboard.
You're welcome
involved,
for
too.
answering that one for you. No, really, what goes into creating a rune?
it's pretty. It's not one thing. I can be driving home one night and something will hit me. A lot of times it's something cool that I'll see. I mean, the Tortons were, you know, how cool would it be if, you know, from seeing the Johnny Depp pirate movies, the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. The Lonks came from a Johnny Goldmane from Magic the Gathering. They were just, you know, different things inspire you. The Stitch came from Chucky. So it's just, seriously, Chucky dolls. Of like, how cool would it be to try to kill a doll that comes back to life on you, right? So you're like, oh my gosh, wow. So yeah, it comes from just about anywhere. The design creation process for me goes, I've got an idea, I write that stuff down, the description for what it looks like, how it feels basically. You know, it's like Tortons, they're pirate turtles. Okay, got it. Then let's go through and you know, what do these guys actually do? Not, yeah, were you going to go Teenage Mutant?
No, I wasn't, but it's just the whole thing.
Teenage Mutant Pirate Turtles.
Only you would sit there and go, right, pirate turtles, got it, run! I mean,
Yeah.
Well, it's really cool. So you usually come up with the concept, and then we usually work with an artist and come up with the art piece first.
So then when I get the art back, I'll take a look at the guy, and sometimes, you know, a lot of times it's spot on. It's exactly what I want.
Right.
The other times it's, you know, it's a little bit off, a little bit different. So then I change I can even change the design, because nothing's actually, the blueprint, the actual stats and whatnot can still change. So I get that back, and then it starts to cement, you know, and then I'll get some stats in there, get the abilities, play with it in the game, say, okay, this is starting to feel really good, and then from there, pretty much we ship it out the door and tweak as needed. Yeah.
So there's a closely related question from Moon Sam who says, how do you decide on what champions are to be created for an expansion? I mean, do you have to come up with a set series of ideas of champions that you really want for a theme that you're trying to follow?
That's a good question. I'm trying to adhere more to that because it seems to be very popular with the players. Themes in general seem to be very popular with the players.
Yeah.
We started to do that with the Maljaran stuff. People didn't like the split races as much as, you know, but it was popular, but so then I think this one's really going to hit the nail on the head with the themes and stuff like that. I think players are going to like it.
You must have read these questions in advance because the very next question we have is from Jajusha, who says,
Jajusha, nice.
Yeah. They ask, will the split races be expanded or are they a part of the past? Do you think they're going to make a comeback?
They will. Yeah, they will. I have plans for, yes, I have plans for them.
A lot of times, too, there's stuff that you'll design that we may not like during the final process, and sometimes some of it's held and slipped in.
Yeah, we have some runes that we're sitting on currently that are just in the hold because I just either didn't like the way they looked or the way they felt or they just didn't fit into the expansion. Right. So yeah, you know, we got a pocket full of that kind of stuff that we can throw out at any given time. It's just making it fit, and it needs to fit. Yeah, it needs to fit. Like the Spirit of the Mountain right now is the only split hero in the game that doesn't have an equipment, and I'd like to try and get something for him, but are we going to be able to get that in time? And it has to be good, right? So.
Right. All right, the next question from, you know, some of these are kind of difficult. I don't know what you're thinking in your head when you give yourself these names, but
Bob,
I'm going to do
Bill,
my best
they're
here.
all taken.
To Mr. Bad Guy, okay? Is that close enough?
I think it's Dr. Mr. Bad Guy.
Doctor? Okay, we're missing an R here.
Oh,
but anyway,
all right, never mind.
Whatever. Bad Guy, whatever title you like in the front, would like to know.
Think before you make your screen name.
He's in the chat channel.
Is he?
Good.
Ah, yeah!
Shout out.
Woo! Okay, so he wants to know, so you better have a good answer. What is the usual time it takes to create art and sprites for completely designed runes?
So we usually go through the design process. The artwork's always done first. The sprites are usually done after the fact, after we, you know, after Blaine nails the design down. He'll work with Tony usually, or sometimes we use contract artists, sometimes we use different people to do that stuff. So it's a relatively quick process. Idols usually only take, I think, a full idol.
A day.
About a day.
It takes Tony a day.
Wow.
Roundabouts a day, yeah.
Well, that's Tony, yeah. I don't know about some of the other artists, but
yeah,
he's pretty quick.
Now, so it takes me about a week to design an expansion visually, right, and get all of the, you know, all 50 or so runes created. Then what we do is we piece those out to the various artists, and we have about 8 or 9 different artists, right? So then they go out, they do their visual art, the big beautiful stuff,
right.
And then when we get that stuff, then our idol artists take over and make those. So in the entire process for a single rune, it's really hard to nail that stuff down because it comes in chips and chunks. Right. But I don't know, what would you say? Maybe a week for
overall
a piece?
process for a piece? Yeah, probably.
I'd say it takes about a week for an entire.
And that's including the animations and everything?
Yeah, from beginning to end. I'd say the whole thing takes about a week, yeah.
That's pretty impressive. Only for Fun would like to know, what plans do you have of expanding PoxNora?
So there's always plans for expanding. I can't get into a lot of details of that stuff, but yeah, we're definitely still looking to expand the game.
Yeah,
it's a nice, short legal answer for you.
Expansion 18.
That's called a producer answer.
Rodin would like to know, what is the status of Swiss drafts?
Oh, yeah, I can answer that.
Cool.
We very much want Swiss drafts in the game and working. There's a laundry list of stuff that we want to get in this game. Usually, what it boils down to is, you know, how much horsepower do we have, and how much can we what can we spend, how much time can we blow on getting new features and stuff like that in. So yes, it's on the list to do. We will try and get it in as soon as we can fit it in.
Note the complete lack of time frame or commitments. Smart guy. So Rodin also asks, free drafts appear to be the most popular feature of PoxNora at the moment, and that the online population skyrockets whenever one is held. Are there plans to expand the free draft system to 2 or even 3 days a week?
I have no problems with doing that kind of thing. That's it, if it's
What about you,
popular,
boss?
everybody likes it.
I wasn't listening. I was still laughing.
Free draft tournaments, more.
Yeah, tournaments have been great. I mean, we're always looking to add that stuff. So that's definitely a thing that if you're part of the community, you know, share your opinion on the forums, and we're happy to add that stuff as we can. So
Yeah, you guys seem to interact an awful lot with the players on the forums.
I love our players. I mean, I'm a player. I was a player first before I came to work on this
Yes.
product. So I've worked on it literally, or been with it almost the entire life of the product. So I love it. I know where the players come from. When they come to me and they say, I hate your guts. I can't believe whatever. I can't believe you did this, did that.
Players
I feel
don't
you.
say that to you.
No.
They're just passionate.
They're
Yeah,
shiny
exactly.
happy.
I get it. I do. I get it. And I try to make everybody happy. But, it's...
And we talk about that stuff. I share an office with this guy, so we talk about that stuff. So don't think it's not heard.
It hurt. It's heard. And it hurts.
The way I've always heard it said is, if your players are not passionate and yelling at you all the time, it means they don't care.
That's
and that's a
right.
far worse thing.
Absolutely.
Just
We'd
keep
much
that in
rather
mind
you
the
yell
next
at
time
us.
they call you those names. We'll try to protect them. BK201 asks, what are your thoughts on making the Bazaar a chat tab like the Guild tab?
That's in the works.
Really?
Yeah, it's in the works. It's laundry list. It's a brilliant idea. I love it. I'd like the Bazaar to go away. I don't like the idea. I remember when I had to go there, and it was just, it was just crappy to have to deal with. So yeah, the idea is we've already got it mocked up. It's going to be a chat tab, much like any other. And you just go in there and say, hey, trading X for X.
That also brings up an interesting point that I know a lot of you guys may use the forums, and there's, suggestion forums, and a lot of times you may post there and you think we don't read it, and this is just not Hawk saying, we're passing it along. We do read that stuff, and a lot of times we like to implement some of it. It just takes longer than we'd like sometimes. So
Yes.
Because there's only a
Keep
limited
doing it.
number of you.
keep doing it.
And we haven't perfected the cloning process yet.
We're close.
Oh, that'd be nice. Close.
Okay, Kane1138 would like to know, what expansion did you enjoy making the most?
Go ahead, you can do.
You've had so many.
Yeah, I
It's
came
hard.
on, I think, expansion 6, Skeezic Rebellion. That was 4, expansion 4. I think my most favorite has got to be probably Maljaran War. I had a lot of fun with that one.
That was a fun one. Yeah, for sure. That was the first. Maljaran War was cool because it was the first time I had full reign over the design. That was a really fun one. There was nothing left over.
That was a global map.
Yeah, that was when we got the
Yeah.
global map. We got a lot of lore
was a
in the
lot of
game,
fun.
stuff like that. Pox really. I wanted to pick up the lore and kind of drive like, what is Pox? That's where Poxanthuru Milius came from. That's
Right.
where
Yep.
to sort of kind of seat the world and actually create the world, or make it more solid. Because up until then, nobody knew where Forsaken Wastes were. Nobody knew where the Sundered Lands were. So we introduced this map that said Sundered Lands is right here, and then you could mouse over it and see some of the battles that had happened and kind of. So that was a very fun one. For me, it's always the next one. The expansion for me is always the next one that's coming out. It's always the most exciting and the most fun because it's the stuff that hasn't been tried yet and the stuff that I can't wait to get online and play with you guys with and see what you guys come up with, what crazy combinations. I'll throw something out there and just be like, let's see what happens with it. And then I'm always amazed. Player creativity is always really cool to me. It's always neat to see people do things in interesting ways that I hadn't even. And that's what's great about Pox.
Yes.
It's a toolbox we give to the players, and the players just, here you go, here's some Tinker Toys. And they make all kinds of crazy cool stuff.
Yeah.
It's really
Fantastic.
All right, we're almost to the end. Honest, we're not that far over. So, Z-Ape wants to know, what is the plan for legendaries? Will they continue to be sold as midterm runes, and how will they be sold outside of midterms? According to the current plan, anyways.
fun. You want it?
Yeah, so we're throwing different things around, but a lot of you will notice that we have 3 of the legendary packs at the store right now. We're considering possibly leaving that, so...
Leaving the legendaries in the store,
right.
you mean, right?
Leaving the legendaries
Not
in
pulling
the
them
store.
down anymore,
Right.
basically. Because that way, I don't... Sorry to cut in on you.
No, go ahead.
Just don't
Speak
want
to it. You're passionate about it.
I'm going to kick you. Passionate about kicking you. So basically, I don't like removing anything from the players so they don't have easy access to it. If you want to go out and get whatever, Balefire Knight, whatever you want to get, I'd like to make it so that you can go out and get that rune if you really, really want to get that thing. Pulling those runes down and throwing them in the older packs, while it might drive sales, it might also drive players away, and that's something that we don't want to do.
Yeah,
So,
it settles on. We're trying to make the game more accessible to a lot of
yeah,
players.
Absolutely. More accessible is a huge goal for us because you've got 5 years worth of cards, runes
Yeah.
that you want to get, and it's like, and some of that stuff is collectors only own that or corner the market on it. They're very hard. Some of the runes are $40, $50 outside of, in gray market areas, and it's like, we don't want this. None of us wants a game to be that hard to get into and play. So.
And that shows you guys too that there are future plans for Pox.
Yeah.
Be reassured, I know I am. Last question from KDZMY. Oh, do you guys say, oh, wait, we're in the United States.
Are you Canadian?
KDZMY. Yes, I'm
She's
Canadian.
Canadian. It's
Eh?
the secret.
It's,
Did they really say that?
Yeah, they
No.
do. Yes. Yes, they don't even. Yeah.
In the UP, Upper Michigan.
You
We're
do.
off topic. They don't want to hear about Canada. They want to hear about PoxNora.
We love off topic.
KDZMY asks, and this is important, are there any plans to release Snogvy the Ant Bear?
What did the didgeridoo do?
So first of all, what is Snogvy the Ant Bear for those few people who haven't heard of it yet?
Snogby the Ant Bear was something that we have word jumbles before to generate hype on the forums. So we'll take like Rugolph's Revenge, right, and we'll scramble the words up and throw it out there. One of the players came up, I don't know what it was, what rune it was. One of the players came up with Snogby the Ant Bear, and we were howling in the
So
office.
awesome.
I think everyone was laughing. We were all dying. Meps was cracking up. We were all dying laughing. So Meps actually was like, "You guys got to make Snogby. He's our community manager. Meps is our community manager. He's like, you guys got to make this rune." So we made Snogby the Ant Bear. He will be coming out this expansion. You guys are gonna get him.
What faction is he with?
He is.
Don't say it.
Oh.
Okay. All
Build
right.
this.
Build the
Oh.
hype.
Oh, okay.
You're
Well,
gonna have to buy.
Snogvy's coming.
He's
That's
coming.
all you need to
There,
know.
That is true.
Well, that is almost all the time that we have. Oh,
The
sorry.
players would like to point out it was named by Factstar, and it was Bastion of the Avenger.
Bastion
Oh.
of the Avenger. Wow.
Well, it's Bastion the Avenger. Yeah.
Okay.
Snogby the
Snogby the Ant Bear
from
is
Bastion the
much
Avenger.
more cool. Thanks, Robin. That's terrific. Now, before we go, we decided that we would give away and save these until the expansion comes up. We're going to have 3 of these $15 station cash cards so that you guys can go out and buy Snogby the Ant Bear. And before the show, we drew names at random, and the 3 winners are Rodin, Moonsam, and BK201. So we'll be getting you your codes. We'll have MEP send them out to you on the forums, and really looking forward to seeing you guys there. Anything else you guys want to add before we wrap up?
Nice to talk to you guys.
Yeah, that was cool.
It is. Wish you could talk back louder. You could yell at us up here. So again, thank you to HawkFain, with Luke Bultman, the producer for PoxNora, and Blaine Smith, better known as Corpse, the lead designer for PoxNora. Thanks very much for joining us, guys.
Thanks.
And we will have this uploaded to YouTube later today so that you can share it with all your friends and, get all those secrets that Corpse just let out.
Comments. Yeah.
Yes, provide comments.
YouTube
Nice
comments.
ones. Bye all.
Bye, guys.